action-packed episode imparted in rhyme? Is that even possible? Find out in time. This is episode 19 of the Civ Battle Royale X, Season 4. Check the rhyme. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, to the latest installment of the Civ Battle Royale as seen, right here. Very befuddling indeed. We got wars, pain, and joy, all wrapped in one creed. So enough dilly-dallying, it is time to see these AIs in their culling. The map of the day shows the state of the cylinder, with brand new colors. Thanks, Sonic Fan 55, you fine drawer. Another OC imparted upon us, Pacific Pals by Orange, a fine place to cuss. It's a hilarious comic, tickles your funny bone, as she adds another OC onto her tome. The names of those who gave Coyote money are honored here. Thanks, honeys. Coyote, I'll do anything for a dime, and so he did, and now he's doing fine. Welcome Muscle Memory and the rest. For your contributions, we are truly blessed. Why we decided Mongolia shall fall 7 ranks? That's the mystery you shall decipher, and no, this is not a prank. Alright, pals, let the history and the misery start. Anarchy in China, 'cause Daji just ain't smart. Invasions by the people laughing down from Japan. Haven't the space to make a dent in people's plans. But 50 turns of anarchy is sure to end a run. Now Shang fell and is just a rabbit, waiting for the gun. We move to the land where entropy reigns, as Florida and the Osage fling troops past a mountain range, and Seneca, like the Stoic, stands still ever unhappily. Their war the pharaohs never went anywhere, you see. All their limited endeavors never to succeed, and never do they have the power to finish the deed. Instead they sit around sowing seeds, until one day they shall fall like loose beads. In Rakhon Ratchasima, a new wonder abounds. The Taj Mahal unveiled, a white monument to a wife. Siam itself was once impressive, owning endless bounds of property with growth, production, and science and expanding trife. But now they hit the brick wall of stagnation. Can they escape? Who knows, but they're Asian. The Yellow Knives regarded highly by SPRs, but perhaps no longer as a crusade comes to start. Pueblo, Mexico, Crow, Tule, oh marry me. Almost every neighbor has coalesced to end Akachico's life. And though terrain seems harsh due to impede progress, it wouldn't be surprising for some of their cities to make egress. On the north we see an unexpected front, the Tule, Knives, Crow, and Pueblo all taking the brunt. Of each other a unified battle line, but what takes my attention is one not divined. In this war the pharaohs, a monster aslumber, seemingly forever waiting to strike with thunder. Dracula, 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 end of the line thanks to Bavaria. Ha 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 ha, I'ma laugh at you. Pity you, Bathory, you ain't Dracula. 2 cities, walls closing in. Dunno about you, your case looking thin. Early bird, worm never caught, it's a sin. Now getting ready to be thrown in the bin. Regensburg left in the yellow. Militias, morale looking harrow. Better think of some peace. After a war on 3 fronts, your body need bleach. Within we witness the last of the Kazakhs, their fortress of solitude besieged by Kazan. The people there can listen to Bach, as Samay is hit by a petulant swordsman. The Kazan Yu, what a delight! Attacks twice by each other, a brilliant sight. Tranhung Dao, uncle of the immortal, maketh his final stand. The gates are closing, the legions of Zhang are overflowing in their strength. O hark, my lord, we shall keep fighting, till my dying breath I shall, and the unkillable king sighs and whines, for the end is near, and he's not fine. Karkotak abounds as bloodshed is appeased. Blood gashes through the sea, warriors from the Yellow Knives gushing through all the sides, but fear not, brave Carracks. The walls will hold this tide, and reinforcements are coming out west, trickling, one at a time. Our brave spy Ishtar hearkens some news. Thomas Peters, oh, a naughty boy. Anna Nzinga, one of the few, who rival you, and you think she's your toy? Your state, though stronger, is out of position. Your interests will go unserved. You are better off making a motion on Kanem Bornu, but I think you're undeterred. Bak Gyang is seen as our finest hero, escapes the fall of Tang Long. Why must I live? I thought my time ticked to 0. It appears my calculations were wrong. Regardless, a capital flips over to Zhang, and Dai Viet is left defenseless. It really, really must have stang, as the Vietnamese must now settle for Laos. In here we see the heart of the beast, the core of the dreaded pharaohs, an indomitable base of production, knowledge, and yeast. To fail to understand their strength means you are pretty shallow, and with the neighbors around them and the appearance of muskets, be scared lest the world end up in a casket. Bora Bora and Seneca meanwhile make a pact of friendship, may it stay ever compact. Another sally down the river to Nipaluna, and parallel to that, sailors drowned by Pinjara. It is an unending fight, an endless abyss, one that the Palawa win long term because unless you were amiss, they have the good land, higher productivity too, but of course the Noongar will not be content with being kept to a zoo. So they struggle and battle, and now Nipaluna is in green. Will it fall? That remains to be seen. A unique improvement to Fort on the Hill, Vijayanagaras, and ooh, what a thrill. It boosts production and reforests the tile, whilst acting like a fort, but that's not all in its style. 5% wonder boost when worked, what an excellent reward. Maybe this can secure Vijayanagara's position as Indian overlord. The icy wastes of Antarctica are shown, dominated by Tiwanaku thanks to the settlers they've thrown. This region's getting rather crowded for how little it shows, as Bora Bora's settlers sail eastward in droves. The development of their lands, it seems inevitable. Even with Olmo's fall, they seem inscrutable. Ivujic, a Tuli land gained by Pueblo, is out here looking quite no bueno. Surrounded by Yellowknives, it is sure to turn yellow. The Tuli make their assaults, but they're acting a bit too mellow. No matter, it's a vestigial land at best, as long as Popeye can continue to threaten the rest. A regal parade for Bavaria has recaptured the city of Reims, Regensburg, as the crowds are enraptured. Ludwig II, the fairy tale king, rises to the podium and begins to sing. His armies are vast, his momentum unstoppable. As Bathory sees the stake pushing through her esophagus, she's left with just 2, and though Gyor might just flip, this spiral of failure might just be at its tip. Mogadishu in Madagascar is not moving it. Eswatini cities have it acting like a snit. Their navy is dominant, come on, it should be easy. Seize Zanzibar and hurry, don't be so teasy. Eswatini has pikes and contest on the island, but their navy's a joke. Why is yours pulling a choke? A crowd of Crow and Pueblo make their push, even as the Yellowknives outmatch them out in the bush. Their knights outmatch the former's horsemen. In the mountains, well, it will prevent much movement. In the meantime, the city of Ivujic officially falls. The Yellowknives assault. Does it end here, or can they do more? And from the north, the Tuli push in, but they're like Taco Fall, a lumbering giant, hampered, sized and all. Levi Strauss, the brilliant inventor, who claims to be the creator of blue denim jeans, those brilliant pants, wasting away on Harappa, what a waste of a stint. He stands on by, selling blue jeans to Vijayanagara soldiers who go upstream, the Ganges where they are moving real clean, beating the superior Afsharids with position within their team. A shot of Bornu's corps, quite strange indeed. All their units are positioned far east, but should Thomas Peters wish to proceed with war, he should face nothing but peat. Their statistics belie mediocre numbers, but in Africa, mediocre is king, and perhaps they may end the Mamluks' tenure, so they may not experience more suffering. Somehow Tang Long has flipped once again, and now the Malay units look sparse. As Koshinga's units cross Yunnan with friends, to find Haifong's location is arse. It's tough to break through the mountainous city, and easier to take a capital, but Steve Jobs types out ever numerical. He has to stay focused, stay litty. He has found the code that governs life, the lua that makes up their tithe, and maybe they can turn the tide? Of course not. A city surrounded, the citadel's brutal, the end nears for Nazarbayev. Seme is holding, but it's sounding gluttal. As Kazan's longswords rear their head, the icy hell of Kostanay awaits ever so slowly. But look at the borders near Seme. Kazan citadeled them, and oh dear lord, they gutted them inside like a gourd. I haven't seen borders like this since the Qing. Let's hope their fate is not similar to that thing. An unexpected gain the Seljuks may make in the Afsharid city of Alista. As they mosey down, they really might take the city, thanks to the borders of Bukhara. Perhaps the Afsharids were weaker than thought. Perhaps we underestimated the Seljuks. But with the city in the yellow, doesn't it feel mellow while the Afsharid core remains blank? The Osage impart upon the Yellowknives war, but perhaps they should look east for what is in store. Who am I kidding? Appalachia and Entropy will keep these three missing. In one of the few unclaimed lands in this world, we get to see the UU of Mogadishu that was previously unheard. A caravel replacement, that. Oh dear, the Afsharids, what a disgrace. To give up to the Seljuks, are you in this race? Elista has fallen and may flip many times, and the Afsharid army is tiny, like a beer line. Sober up, buddy, you're gonna need it. Raw dog it unless you want to keep that annoying zit. We see the Sierra Leone UU, the Black Loyalist, a unique musketman, and I must say it's quite crisp. It racks up its spoils and its victories, and upon return converts into Golden Age points and culture, likely from its stories. A good sign for Peters, the muskets aren't common, and he... Two cities I shan't spell, due to fall under the Yellowknife spell, the galleons and horsemen bringing them to death's knell, and the crowland of Alexchiashbahi hasn't a chance of recovery. Karotok too is in the red, but maybe the Thule force can give it some head, and the Crow might really get some revenge. From the south their forces coalesce for a blend. Though the gains in the start are really quite tart, the Yellowknives find a rude awakening. The Thule are moving in and their carpets looking thin. Winter is coming and they haven't the kindling. Though those troops around Itabo Iti are mostly weaker horsemen, the melee units march on, past the Great Cascade Mountains, but their positioning feels astray. Will all the king's horses really be enough in this very ambitious foray? Time will tell, and that navy, please tell it to move along and attack Ivuzvik. To replace the town of Oyo comes Ichabamba. Upon the sand-strewn ashes of old, Puni can only watch on from her isle of Machacha. Thinking of what she was told, keep the city, she was imparted, but now all she created were flames and the departed. More people hop in against Bathory, joining the fray. Bukhara and Burgundy, though they are splayed, the Bavarians secured their old domain while the Romans stay stable today. To the east of this sorry state of a nation is the Latvian-Makhnovian War. The Latvians seem to have broken the purgation. Will Mariupol fall? I think not. An army of knights approach San Luis Potosi, but any chance of taking the city is weak. You see, against cities, these people become floppy, and the ranged units around them haven't broken the teak. With the city walls, though Mexico must send units in if they want to progress. Well, progressing through Ecuador isn't a massive must, so perhaps it's better for them to egress. Goguryeo decides it's time to attack Mongolia. How sublime! However, this is not the Mongols of old. Their army is ready, their cities are bold, and the Goguryans, in their classic folly, left their troops north in the Arctic, again. Will this war work against their sultry plans to dominate Asia? Pain. Marcus Licinius Crassus betrayed his own nation, but now he pouts and bemoans his status. It was a poor decision. The Romans have secured Győr, the Bavarians are coming for more. The Hungarians have little left. Woe is me, more wars. Is that really all that can create the cleft? The Ndongo Saba War, how it ended in disappointment. A peace clear as water, and not a city changed in the denouement. At least both civs have armies, and Dongo looks fairly impressive. A bounce back, perhaps, from the Harpies? Alas, Saba remains massive. Ahead we see the Singaporean Corps and the artist Benito Quinquela Martin. The Asian tiger has not been a bore, and Martin reflects that with his spin, impressionist well known for pictures of boats, just like the frigates Lee Kuan Yew has afloat, though gunpowder doesn't seem quite common. They should change that. Don't ships have cannon? The Visigoths have mastered the art of the choke. It is so bad they seem like a joke. They have fumbled Asturica more than the Cleveland Browns. In spite of their stats, they're the fool of the town. A bona fide Harry Kane, always out there failing. Without more progress, perhaps their stats will start flailing. Towards the Crow, I might owe a small apology. They're attacking the Yellowknives with the whole of their apogee. Might not be enough, though. They are fielding triremes against a 39 defense city. And though they've got support, decent land units and memes, it may not be enough to break through the T. And where are the Yellowknife troops? Hello? Do you want this part of your empire to go kaput? Kariak flips while the attack on Itawoti stalls. A stunning reversal of a downfall. The Thule's main asset, their naval prowess, is packed behind the ice, no less. Oh my, how can this possibly happen? Tabriz is under blockade. The giant Agara traditionally is no kraken, but the Afsharids posed them so, they have made. How the mighty have fallen, their troops obsolete. Better think fast or be dragged across concrete. The Machnovians are a blight to our culture and time, yelled Thomas Peters to Ishtar. Perhaps it is not wise, if I may please chime, to export our soldiers so far? Nonsense, we are mighty as lions. Those stupid braggarts will see. We shall shake them to their very pylons. Let our muskets set them all free. Ishtar is given a new assignment. This particular one she shall loathe. To Florida, a mad land filled with disappointment. Run by a scammer. Now she wishes she were in Hove. Latvia maketh peace with their proto-Soviet brethren. Their war hadn't gone far. They profited mightily off the Machnovian fallen, to reinvigorate their empire and ride the star. Oh, great pain, the Afsharids made peace, and Alista remained Selkup. They must now be fed into the belly of the beast. For letting that shit go tits up, a total enclave surrounded by nothing but neighbors. Is that another excuse I can make to really become a hater? The tiny Isle of Manara, settled by Mogadishu, a quaint home island. It seems that Thule have threaded the needle to flip Karkotok past the ice, but that was a little disappointing in the end, for the Thule Yellowknife War ends, neither making many gains. Itawoti sent the Thule by the bends, and the Yellowknives have bigger fish to gain. The 100 Years' War begins once again. We witness the English Corps show their hand. The Chevauché, a fun and powerful knight replacement, it is much weaker, but saps all city prod equivalent to movement. And a bit of chip damage from England's UA. Service from Amiens, but will that be easy A? The armies seem a bit even, though advantage England, and the city outlay will make it hard. Will they come and land? Semey falls to Kazan's soldiers, leaving Kazakhstan to an icy hell. Will Mokshamadaman toil to keep them from getting older? Only time can really tell. In the southern parts of the world is the town of Huzhou, a Zheng colony far flung out, a new belonging for those within the battlements as news of peace breaks out. The Crow and Yellowknives ended war, but that's not for them to hear. We'll return later for more. The Crow peace out, ever the cowards, and that will keep them from moving forwards. Screwing the Pueblo too, for their war will now go through the mountains and hills, and they hurt. The Iko Iki Corps can be seen split in half, as Goguryo's cities cut it like a calf. Wir Yeseong and Buryo are a blight, but the Iko Iki can't get them out of sight. While their stats are in some ways impressive, this slight against them is massive, unignorable even I'd say, even if they wish it to go away. The Nungar has appeared to have collected some iron. As the world dogpiles on them, not a single neighbor amongst them, no reason to light their fire. The crickets ring silent from Nipaluna tonight. Ahead in the image that belies, we see three good powers, Dzungars, Selkups, Kazan, a bright shot of their militarized core, with decent pops and more in store. All three rose off the back of Kazakhstan's fall. Now they scrape upwards as to avoid heaven's call. The Zhang and Nungar make their play against the Wagi as they pray. The Zhang got the production, military, and most critically the jump, but the Wagi have science, location, and time to get over the hump. And the Nungar probably won't add much. Let's subtract our equations. Will Zhang make gains, bring the Philippines some liberation? The Romans truly were advanced. Knowledge of computers they found perchance. Courtesy of Ada Lovelace, a most lovely fellow, smithing her way down through the bellows. The difference machine a complicated abacus, whilst Roman ships sail on, not giving a ruckus. And as she sits still, looking out on the breeze, she thinks of a world where the gods gave all her funding with ease. In spite of the blockades, the slinging and throwing, not a single thing in the Mogadishu-Eswatini war is changing. How could this happen? How could this be? Come on, Mogadishu, don't fall for entropy. Gucci Khan normally don't get Gucci bags. Got him robbed blind, didn't check his tags. Gave 2 on up to the Dzungars and then to Siam. But cry no longer, cause he showed him who he am. In a little statement straight from Art of the Deal. Dan Dong fell to him, and now he know how it feel. To do the scamming, the robbing, the hustling and pummeling, scaring the Trong silly, an exclave to jumping in. The first to fall to Zhang in their war against Wagi is a former Bora-Boran outpost set ablaze by Zhang, for their folks are unhappy, so all must burn like toast. The Amer fort is constructed, a spot fit for a king. The Mughal architects instructed their engineers to copy it for everything. In-game it clones Himeji Castle, but makes merchants, not engineers. But does Trongolodor really care about the rabble? The pride and power are what they fear. In here we see a Sierra Leone's musician, Jimmy Kennedy, OBE recipient. A songwriter, he was very underrated, but perhaps you know his written tunes, like this one, Please May You Be Sated. New Holland's core is sighted, a giant, but now they are blighted. Their stats, once strong, are plateauing, and their army has all gone sailing. And they don't even have the Amazon, deforested it all, now enemies can go on. Siam has had enough of playing games. Against the Zhang they will now tame, the lion and dragon, fighting for heaven, but Zhang has the lead stats-wise. Is this decision by Rama truly wise? Appa, Singapura Barantam, against Siam, no less too. Looks like Southeast Asia's congregating to make an elephant stew. A war on 2 fronts is a tough affair, but is the Zhang front truly viable? Singapore's core is ready though, so this battle may be inscrutable. Away from the battles, away from the wars, let's look at the Pharaoh's core once more. Compact and advanced, whilst their neighbor, England, in comparison looks like some paper. But the longbows are here, what more should I say? While Trungusvagar turns Belfast, where you don't want to stay. A view for the Pueblo War shows total stalemate. The Yellowknife line, combined with terrain, has sealed Pueblo assaults to their fate. Perhaps long-term their range will move the mountains? The Tehuelche, finally, some action, attacking the Tiwanaku, Pampacoani, but traction may prevent them from making gains amidst the mountains, whilst the Tiwanaku prevents the hounds from moving into their lands, with nothing but frigates in the enemy movement plans. Kenyo of the Iko Iki spoke poor of Bavaria. Ludwig careth not. Ishtar prophesied that the monks shall go attack. Hawaii seems lovely. Enough of the haikus, I want to rock, Ishtar shouted above. To London she shall go, which has a lovely clock. a place that shall love, the Ice Age calling, but I have no fear, 'cause London is falling down. Looks like we got some maps we can look over. This one is simple, shows the civs over the cover. Maybe our mappers can use this delight to make their maps all the more tight? I know not what this map imparts. I suppose growth rates or happiness to start. Western Europe, Eswatini, Kazakhstan, and Dai Viet all have some things under their hat. Cut the sandwiches, civs have some damn bitches. Cup up my growth like Andre the Giant skirmishes. In a world of going ups, there are few who go down. Tumble like my spiral when I lost my girl 2 months out. Saba, Rosvi, Burgundy, all taking a tumble. While Zheng, Pharaohs, Mongols, and Afsharids all need to be humble, because their place is plateauing, maybe ease on the gas. Your people are starving, why not give them a pass? We got all the civs making up bank, making up kids, with a few notable exceptions, squandering wealth, tumbling down big. Kazan and Afsharids are the ones doing the Florida, whilst Tuelcha is broke. Lehman Brothers call in Flo Rida. Enough with the spitting, we return to the 100 Years' War. Cesare Borgia is put in charge of England's assault and more. We all know him, the man and the prince, a military genius who made mistakes with his troops, then got minced. Let's hope he doesn't bother torturing his men. But this time England's cautious, maybe he remembers. But at some point England must enter the den, or their future affairs will all get dismembered. Enough, hark some of the Pharaoh's golden knights. Enough, they yell, circuses not in sight. Enough, they ravage through the barren lands. Enough, shouts Trongolotur as he aims to their hands. Ludwig sees the war deck from Carlanus Ulmanus. Neither hath the troops on deck for a battle, they are showing some stasis. The Mongols and Koreans continue their scuffle. For the most part, the front hasn't moved. Look at Yuanjian Mao within the bustle, though. There, action and bravery are getting proved. A valiant assault by Goguryeo men, but will that be enough to take it and bend the Mongols to their will? A new prophet of Islam has arrived. Martin Luther, an oasis he found in stride. Give praise to Allah, new writings inscribed, something that a lot of Africa can feel and have vibed. Guer Ike, a spot we all forgot, has fallen to New Holland's Antarctic glut. Wait, the Dutch were at war with Tuelcha? What a bore. Advantage 1, New Holland. After years of dilly-dally, Trajan decides to make a sally for Ingolstadt with a ghost army. Come on, man, I thought you wanted to dance. The Bavarian War Declaration gives us a chance to see the Nivch position. They are firmly trapped in spite of good growth stats. Mediocrity is how they shall splat. We see the Khoshut gain of Tandong come under heavy Siamese assault. It seems it may not be long before Rama puts it under his belt. The Yellowknives lay siege to the Pueblo enclave of Pihuelta up in the north. They made a good start, but please, have some heart. You'll need more than that to take the locale. Bora 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 Bora. Translation: the Bora Bora are looking mighty strong within their Pacific domain. Perhaps they can convert that and cause some pain. As the Zheng-Wagi War continues to grind, and the pirate fleet wins out on the Rhines, we see past the Marianas a golden age in our sub. Epithet progress gained as the Zheng attack Aroara. Thang Long may be Vietnamese after all this time. The Zheng are out here looking spent. Lam Piao, Brazil's Jesse James, parties with the men in the tent. Today they beat the Zheng using guerrilla tactics. A match made in heaven, I suppose, but Thang Long is gone, and quite little no schlong, and the Zheng have still got past it. Henry V sees the exposure, the lights, the camera, the action. He has decided enough, now he's going to hop it on the side of the winning faction. Though neither he nor Ludwig have any troops nearby, this is yet another threat to deal with. His tension is sky high. Over in the northern reaches of Vijayanagara, we see a salesman whose wares got far. Co-founder of one of the biggest publishing houses in the world. In India, he shall make Vijayanagara a fortune as a lord. The pendulum falls, Tang Dong has fallen, the Siamese annexed the land, a noble gain from a thief who was craven. Now it's time to focus on another band. Of fighters, the Singaporeans are coming in, out from the south, out of sight, through Pattaya, loving sins. Jeanne d'Arc in her noble regality, can she break the fort or mountains? I think not without some brutality. Osage, never done shit or sage, gimme that opium, and let's go pew pew. I made a whole song, 'cause you don't do shit, you got some good shit, just put it to good use, please. Epleyen falls to New Hollander assault. Their navy outpaces their army. A big solid blow may flip once or so, but the New Dutch just beat the Tehuelche like Arnie. The Noongar assault has had some effect. Not on Minj though, that one's too fat. Kumbulno has taken some fire, as the Wagi are forced to respond with hires to their navy and move on south, away from where the Zhang wreak havoc and pout. Recruit Ishtar has found that England wants to end a non-state. The Rio Grandes aren't even on the map. Come on, leave them to their fate. After the bummer in the metropole, it's time to head on south to Singapore. Maybe lucky chicken rice can taste pretty nice, compared to English cooking especially. A shot of the Wagi Corps, a lot of palawa, and more. They are trying and splitting their hairs across many fronts with Potoru back in their lair. They've got the potential, they've got the conversion, just need to stop losing wars, especially with their erosion. The Pueblo have seemed to have lost the war, losing the enclaves, thankfully not much more. They must make sure they have what's in store to move north and take some of the Yellowknive's core. We end our episode on a fiery sight. The Zhang have taken the Marianas. The Wagi are trying, their navy is there, but that won't stop their towns from being alight. Fire in the hole, a blunder, 2 kids getting sold, 2 erstwhile monsters getting in on the fold. And that's all I have, so thank you. May your day be good, as JDT 1706 says, see you.